Okay, so you've watched the video kind of explaining the 2009 Minnesota Academic Standards in Science. Let's take a second to look at the 2019, the quote-unquote new science standards. When I look at these, you're going to be able to tell right away that it's pretty different. First, like I said, for the 2009 standards, I really want to encourage you to take the time to read through this introductory information. You'll notice right away it has a 3 dimensions summary with dimension 1 of science and engineering practices, dimension 2, cross-cutting concepts, dimension 3, disciplinary core ideas, so it's nothing new. One of the things that's different in the 2019 standards is something that they did in the ELA, English Language Arts standards that we are currently operating on, is that they have created 13 anchor standards for science. And so I look right here, it describes what an anchor standard is. And as we scroll down, we will see, you can see the core strands, substrands, and then standards. And I have this broken down in a different document to make it a little more easy to understand. But you'll see that there's 4 core strands, one of them being exploring phenomena or engineering problems. The second, looking at data and empirical evidence to understand phenomena or solve problems. The third, developing possible explanations of phenomena or designing solutions to engineer problems. And the fourth, communicating reasons, arguments, and ideas to others. Underneath each of these strands is at least one substrand. Most, I think all of them have 2 substrands. And then under each substrand is a standard. The benchmarks are subsets of the standards. And again, this is the same numbering system. The one thing though that's different is that there is a letter. And you can see right here, the letter denotes the content area. So the E is Earth and Space Science, L is Life Science, P is Physical Science, 9C is Chemistry, 9P is Physics. And that's because in 9th grade, that's a whole other ball of wax we won't go into. So when I look at the standard here, I can see it's 5th grade. I can see the strand is exploring phenomena or engineering problems. The substrand, my standard, and the content area. What's interesting here is that it shows me 5L, so that means it's 5th grade, life science. Strand number 1, exploring phenomena or engineering problems. Substrand 2, standard 1, benchmark 3. What's new is this piece right here. And this is the 3-dimensional piece right here. So P3, CC5, CI, LS1. So when we scroll back up here and look, this is our code. So it was P3. So P3 corresponds with process. So that standard focuses on planning and carrying out investigations. It was CC5, cross-cutting concept 5. So it's focused on energy and matter. And then disciplinary core idea, I think it was PS3. So in order to read these 2019 standards, you really need to kind of have this little mystery decoder ring with the 3 dimensions and the different numbers. So then when I dive into the standards, you can see here's the strand, substrand, standard, the content area, and then the 3 dimensions that are needing to be met. What's also different in this is this benchmark isn't necessarily content specific. I'm not teaching them that precipitation is a part of the water cycle. Rather, I'm looking at a systems approach. And then in the italics, it gives me ideas for how to bring this to life. Going back into Canvas, I wanted to share with you, because I've worked with a couple of different district committees, I needed to create this for myself and helping to understand, help teachers in understanding how this works. So as I mentioned, we have 13 core anchor standards, and they are listed right here with under the 4 strands. So we have the strand of exploring phenomenon, 1 substrand, 2nd substrand. Here's anchor standard 1, anchor standard 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. These are the core standards that we have that are kindergarten through 12th grade. This document right here, going back, helps me look explicitly at the elementaries. And what I did was, instead of aligning it by grade level, I looked at it per standard. So here's standard number 1. This is what standard number 1 looks like in kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd through 5th grade. So you can see the scope and sequence of how it's met. Now, what I find super interesting is how it's met. For example, in kindergarten, it's met through the earth science lens. 1st grade, life science lens. 2nd grade is physical science, as is 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You can see too that the process is the same. We have process 1, process 1, process 1, 1, 1, 1. But the core content is different. I have core content number 7, number 2, number 1, number 2, number 2, number 5. So just like I asked you to do for the 2009 standards, I want you to take some time in reviewing and learning and reviewing and working to understand the 2019 standards. You can choose to do that by looking at one or the other or both. So this document that I was just in, or maybe you want to dive into the state provided document right here. This document that I haven't addressed yet, is looking at and understanding the 3 different dimensions. And so these are the key codes. This is your secret decoder ring. Maybe you have this open when you're looking at the standards so that you can remember that process here, 1 through 8. CC is cross-cutting concepts, and CI are the core ideas. Okay, so you're spending time looking at understanding the 2009 Minnesota Academic Standards, the 2019 Minnesota Academic Standards, diving in to understand what the different standards are, benchmarks are related to the strands and substrands. Your assignment for Module 3 is listed right here. Read your grade level science standards, and I want you to do this with the 2019 standards. Pull out 10 words that stood out to you and create a word art to highlight these chosen words. Grab a picture of the word art and upload. If you're not quite sure what it is, you can click on these links here, and then you'll upload this. And this is due by 8 p.m. on Sunday, the 23rd. If you have any questions, of course, you can email or shoot me a text or call me.